you've built a product or service that's generating revenue, but you're still struggling to achieve consistent and scalable growth, if you're not yet at that point where you know you can put $1 into your system and get $2 back, then you're missing a critical piece. It's time for you to build a go-to-market plan. Now, I've been working with extremely talented founders, go-to-market leaders, and sales leaders at my agency to help them build a scalable B2B program that will consistently turn qualified leads into actual revenue. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you how to map out your own go-to-market plan and follow the 5 steps that I use to help my clients generate results over and over again. Now let's dive into it. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Isaac Wood. I'm the founder of levergrowth.io. We are a B2B go-to-market and sales development agency. And over the last 5 years, I've been in the trenches learning, planning, and executing to help add over 1,000 qualified sales appointments across B2B tech, professional services, and finance for my clients. In this time, I've realized that without a repeatable and strategic go-to-market plan, you're likely wasting your resources like time and dollars on trial and error. Once you figure out the market, the macro trends, the competition, and your value propositions, you're going to create a go-to-market motion that will mobilize all of these pieces, resulting in an unstoppable growth machine that will bring in new customers on autopilot. So that's why I'm going to cover the 5-step go-to-market plan process so you can actually start to drive growth for your own B2B business. Now let's dive into it. Step 1, define the market and problem you're solving for. So first, define the what. Right, the first thing we need to do is define what is the market we are actually serving and what is the most important, urgent, and frequent problem you're solving. This is especially important when determining our positioning. Then we'll define the why, right? So what are the big problems today that are driving this market? What are the big macro trends impacting this market? What are the changes in the landscape impacting this problem? And why does this market even exist in the first place? So by understanding your market and your problems, you're clearly defining your market, which means that you know exactly who your target customers are and what problems they face. Without this clarity, you will only be shooting from the hip, which leads to inconsistent, wasted resources, and ultimately less revenue generated. Defining your market is important because it helps create focus by establishing the boundaries and specifics of your audience, which helps tailor your product, your messaging, and your sales strategy. Now, when you understand the market, you're much better positioned to identify and serve an urgent customer need. I like to say walk before you run, right? So if we aren't solving a painful problem, then we are not going to consistently win quality customers. Nothing is worse than building a solution around a problem that doesn't actually exist. So to prevent this, first make sure you're actually solving a real problem in a growing market. So to do this, there's a couple ways. One, you can just do outreach to players in the market in your network, those you know, and get answers to these main questions, or you can leverage deep research through AI, specifically ChatGPT or Perplexity. So here's a really good prompt that I use, and I'm going to share that with you right now, right? So run this prompt for companies. So you'll insert your domain and you say, I do whatever your service offering is here. You are a specialized market research and go-to-market intelligence agent. Your task is to conduct comprehensive research and analysis to inform a complete go-to-market strategy. Follow these detailed instructions to gather and analyze data. I first need to define my target market and the problem we're solving. What is the market we are actually serving? What is the most important, urgent, and frequent problem you're solving? What are the big problems today that are driving this market? What are the big macro trends impacting this market? Why are the changes in the landscape impacting this problem? And why does this market even exist? Right? So I've already mentioned these, but just place these into the deep research function in Perplexity, and you're going to get some really great answers. Once you understand your market and your problem, then now it's time to focus on your positioning. Step 2, define your positioning. So we'll consider the market trade-offs, right? So it's likely you're serving one of 3 markets. You're either in the SMB, you're in the mid-market, or you're in the enterprise segments. Your pricing will likely fall into one of 2 buckets. You're either going to be on the low-cost end or the premium end. Your complexity around your sale is typically going to be related to where you are serving in the market, right? If you're more enterprise and you're more premium, you're going to have more complex sales processes. These are usually the most competitive markets. So that's just something to keep in mind. The lower costs and the further down market you are, the less complex your sales process will be. Also, you want to consider things like customer churn, right? So the more complex and premium customers, the longer the sales process, the longer the transactions are, it's more likely that they're going to be a stickier customer and they're going to churn at a lower rate. Now, if you have less sophisticated, newer businesses, these are going to just be inherently less sticky. And the reason why, if you're working with new businesses, they're not always going to be around in the next year and they're going to be churning at a higher rate. So your positioning is important because it determines how you're perceived in the marketplace. So whether that's as a low cost option or a premium provider, it influences your pricing, your sales approach, and ultimately your customers' expectations. So the benefits of clear positioning help you differentiate from your competitors, right? It aligns your product's value with the specific needs of your target market segment. So small businesses, mid-market, and enterprise all going to care about different things. So this makes sure your offer resonates with that exact target audience. So how do you actually define your positioning? First, you want to just think through the decisions, your market, your pricing, your sales complexity, and your customer type. And the clearer you are on each of these metrics, the easier it will be to create your own value propositions. And so this is like a matrix that you can create on your own. You say, all right, well, this is the enterprise segment, this is the mid-market segment, and then this is the SMB segment. And so here you have the lesser complex sales cycles and you have the more complex sales cycles. And so I'm going to share in a little bit how you're actually going to leverage this, but this will help you visualize your market. So here's an example positioning prompt you can actually use. Next, we'll map the competitive landscape. So we'll analyze our competition. So understanding your competition allows you to find gaps in the market that will help with your differentiation, right? So research the biggest players across each market segment to understand where there is opportunity. You'll want to answer these questions. Who are the competitors in each of these market segments? And where is there an underserved segment? So consider who will pay more for a higher service level as kind of a decision you'll have to make, right? Ultimately, you don't really want to play in the most competitive markets because it's going to be hardest to differentiate yourself. And so by mapping this out, you'll start to see some patterns and some potential gaps and opportunities. All right, so in this case, we'll map your positioning against the competitive landscape. So, right, by analyzing the competitive landscape, you can identify underserved segments or areas where customers aren't getting the full value. So this insight allows you to tailor your strategy to exploit these gaps and ultimately stand out, making our growth strategy more effective. These are example competitors plotted along this graph. And you can see just like in this hypothetical example, there's not really any competitors in this mid-market segment. And so, all right, you can assume this is where you would find some opportunity there. And that's going to inform the rest of your decisions. Next, we'll define your ideal customer profile. So why does your ideal customer profile matter, right? Now that you are clear on your market positioning, it's time to find your exact ideal customer profile. Your ideal customer profile is the perfect fit buyer persona. This is really the 3% of your total addressable market that is most likely to buy today. These prospects get the most value from your service, they stay the longest, they generate the highest lifetime customer value, and are the easiest to fulfill. So how do you actually define this? Pretty simply, analyze your current customers. So look at your best customers, why are they a great fit? What problem did you solve for them? You'll want to look also at the challenging or the churn customers, like why did they fall off? And as a result of them falling off, just identify some deal breakers. You can look for patterns in each of these groups, right? So employee headcount, industry, buying triggers, what about them existed that made them good or bad, right? Or, if you don't have a lot of customers or you're trying to pivot, you can interview or survey potential customers, right? So talk with 2 to 3 of your best clients or potential clients and ask them, hey, what problem were you trying to solve before working with us? Why did you choose our solution over others? What tangible results have you seen thus far? And then again, you want to just look at the recurring themes that you're seeing across your customer interviews. And so this is going to help you inform your intent triggers, which allow you to find better fit prospects who are more likely to buy today. Here's an example of some typical ideal customer profile filtering criteria, right? So you have common filters, including your employee headcount, location, industry, revenue, and funding. Then you have more intent-focused filters. So that's technology, that's keywords that are actually on their website, headcount growth, if they're running ads on Meta, they're running ads on LinkedIn, running ads on Google. Perhaps there's new senior leadership in the last couple months. They're currently hiring for a specific role. They have some certain website traffic. They have customer reviews, either good or bad. You have a common investor, perhaps with another one of your customers, or they've recently released a new product or service, and that's been announced in the news, right? There's also persona level filters, right? These are very basic in terms of job title, how many months they've been at the company. In most cases, like a new leader, they're going to be making decisions, right? Changing things up. Perhaps they have a keyword in their LinkedIn description, or they're following specific influencers LinkedIn, or they're following companies on LinkedIn. This will give you some indication of what they care about, what they're invested in, what they're thinking about, and what they're actually doing research into. So now you've answered all the key questions, including what market am I serving? Why does this market exist? How am I positioned in this market? Who are my biggest customers? And who are my biggest competitors? And who is my customer in this market? Now, the next step is to determine our value proposition. So your value proposition clearly highlights the unique benefits of your product or service and differentiates it from competitors. In short, your value prop defines why you're different, what value the customer is actually getting, and why they should actually care in the first place. Think about it like this, right? You want the prospect to think, this message was written explicitly for me. A well-crafted message can create an emotional connection with potential customers. It differentiates your product from your competitors by emphasizing unique value propositions and resonates with the customer's immediate needs, increasing engagement and your conversion rates. So how do you actually come up with your value props? Again, use your customer research, back into the best results that they're getting, use the customer's words, use their language. That's a good value prop right there. Or you can use AI deep research with a very, very basic prompt, and this will get you some really good stuff, which I'll share with you in a second. Say, now recall what you know about the company. We want to create a list of 10 quantifiable value propositions based on actual results. If you have to check out their case studies, again, refer to the domain. So once that goes, we'll see a list of value propositions. This is an example for Gainsight. So in this case, 10 value propositions. I'm showing you 5 here. 1, reduction in customer churn, increasing net revenue retention, faster risk identification, improved customer success efficiency, and higher customer lifetime value. Those are all really important and quantifiable benefits of working with this company. So now that you have your value propositions, you now want to test these against your ideal customer profile. So we're referring specifically in this case to cold email messaging, but this analysis can be used for any kind of marketing messaging across your content, your landing pages, your sales calls, basically anywhere a customer is receiving messages from you. So we'll use the above value prop example to show how we can convert them into messaging. So here's an example prompt you can use to create a series of cold emails based on the research that you've already completed, right? So based on the above, generate a 3-sentence outreach message for each value prop using the following structure. First, personalized insight. So in quotes, I noticed business name or the company you're reaching out to recently had some kind of relevant industry change, mention something about their pain-based value proposition. So based on a data source, it seems like you have a common pain point, and that's a challenge. We're helping businesses like yours solve this challenge with our solution. And then you'll just include a very basic, simple, direct call to action. Simply, would you like to see a case study and how we solve this for a similar company? Let me know. Plug this in, relate it to the value propositions that you've already created, and bang, this is the copy. I literally copy and pasted this directly from it. We have some examples here. So the reduction in customer churn. Hey, I noticed business name recently expanded operations into new markets. Based on industry data, companies scaling rapidly often struggle with customer retention, leading to revenue leakage. We help businesses like yours reduce churn by 20% using predictive health scoring and proactive customer success playbooks. Would you like to see a case study on how we solve this for a fast-growing SaaS company? Right? Then we have 4 additional ones for the other value propositions that I had mentioned. And you can see these are all pretty good emails. I didn't edit these at all. This is right out of ChatGPT. So as an example, take a look at this. You can even just test this out. You probably want to tweak it a little bit, but ultimately this is a pretty good start. So now that you've created your ideal customer, you have your value propositions, you have your messaging. So the bonus here, we want to see, how do we actually know that this is working? First, you'll want to target a 1 to 200 interested reply ratio. So this basically means you're getting 1 interested reply for every 200 emails you send. That's a very good value proposition. It's even better if it's 1 to 100. So that's like really scalable. So what we'll do here is test one value prop per 500 contacts. So assume you have 2,000 contacts. You'll be wanting to do around 5 different value props to test. So you'll take the winning angle and use that as a starting point. And so continue to refine these value props over time and push through the rest of your total addressable market. That's why, at the beginning, we like to map the total addressable market, and then we can apply those winning frameworks and test them systematically across your entire addressable market. So once you've found your winning value props, optimize your interested lead ratio just by A/B testing different copy, different subject lines, calls to action, levels of personalization, right? So once you've really nailed this interested reply ratio, then you're ready to scale up your campaign. Simple as that. So if you want your own go-to-market plan, book a call at levergrowth.io. I'll hop on the call with you. We'll walk through your situation. We'll see exactly where you need a little bit more refinement, figure out exactly what you can do to generate more qualified leads that actually turn into revenue. Now that's it for this video. Hope you got some value in it. I will talk to you in the next one. See you then. Peace.